And yes, we are live on my intentional parenting journey today. I'm particularly excited because you're going to be listening to Christina Ikedieze. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And yes, Christina is going to be up and running very soon. Of course, she's almost here while we wait. Who has been following my intentional parenting journey from day one? If you have, let me see your comment in the comment section telling me that you have been following this my intentional parenting journey from day one. Yes, I have something for you. Let me see those that have followed. All right, guest is
All
full
right, guest is
inside here.
in
Okay,
right
so my
here.
voice is echoing in your background,
Okay, so my
Christy.
voice is echoing in your background, Christy. Okay.
Do you have two devices on? Do you have more than one device on?
Device on? No, I'm using just one.
Only one device.
Is it still
Only one
echoing?
device. Oh yes, it's echoing. I can hear myself.
Oh yes, it's echoing. I can hear myself. Wow. I don't know if it's my network.
Okay, so that's fine. I'm going to keep you muted
Okay, so
while I
that's
speak.
fine. I'm going to keep you muted while I speak. Okay.
Alrighty, so good morning and welcome. Here we have Christina Ikedieze, and Christina Ikedieze is going to be sharing with you on my intentional parenting journey. Amazing, amazing. Yes, you're wondering, Christy, me and Christy have the same kind of color of hair, yeah? You got it, you said. Yes, that's my baby girl. All right, so yes, Christy is here and she's going to be sharing on my intentional parenting journey. Are you ready? Are you ready? I can see people saying I've been following from day one. If you are okay, so maybe I don't know if it's just the others that follow. If you are not an inner circle parent yet, maybe you're an incoming yada, you have been following from day one. Let me see you say, ah, yeah, Captain, inside the comment section. Let me see if you've not missed any day. Of course, George, I see you. I know you've not missed a single day. Dr. Happiness and Professor Chris, I know you haven't missed a single day. I can see Oli KB. Yes, I know. Chris, Clara, I know the people that have not missed it, but I even know their name. It's actually very interesting. I know the people that have not missed any day. Yes, I see you guys. And most of them are yadas. Now I'm talking about people who are not yadas will follow, whether they are live or they are not live. They will find a way and follow through. Yeah. All right. So incoming yada. Yeah, I can see incoming yadas saying not miss a single day. Wow. Now that's the people I'm talking about. The people who are not in the yard yet, as in who are not in the yard but yet. They are here following every day. All right. If you can find me, send me a chat. If you are that incoming yada who has followed every day till today, you find me, of course, you know where to find me, right? Send me a chat. I have something for you. Yes, yadas are now doing me this kind coach, this kind of thing, right? All right, you guys will be all right. You guys know what it is you should be doing here, of course, obviously. And you're here, and we love it. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for being here. It's been an amazing journey of my intentional parenting journey. We are on 17th, right? We are on the 17th of October. Somebody said I've been following. I don't comment. Oh shit. Well done. The Nicodemus of our times. All right. Better be here and be here. Shine your light. Let's see you. That's how we do it in the academy. We don't hide at the back. All righty. Thank you so much for being here. We have Christy. I was at the retreat with Christy just a few weeks ago in Lagos. Amazing. She and her husband at a conclave retreat. Conclavite, are you here? Shout out to you guys. Christy is the conclavite also, right? So Clara say, what of the others now? Yeah, that's just leave me alone. I can't even laugh. So of course we have Christy. I think Christy is battling a bit with her, with her network. And of course, we're going to be here. I'm sure she's going to be here soon. All right. So if you are a non-yada, please, I did not say yada. Yadas, you guys already know. If you are not here, where will you be now? If you're a non-yada, you have not been joining in, right? You've been joining in, right? It's your father's work, right? It's your if you're not here, that we're celebrating you. Yeah, that's of course you guys know that I root for you on a daily basis. Come on now. It's not that hard. Yeah. I was like, so Christy, we're good. Christy, Over to you. Tell us
Welcome.
and welcome here. How did you join
Thank you.
the academy? Tell us, how did you get to know about the academy? Well, Christy is out again. Okay, it's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster of a journey this morning. Please just bear with us. I think Christy is going to have all that sorted out. Somebody said, Coach, is all right. We understand the new wife thing. It's not a new
Hello.
wife thing. No, 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 no. You guys, yeah, I prefer my old wives. I don't prefer new wives. Vico. Yeah. So Christy, are you back here?
Yes, yes. So sorry, my
Okay.
network it's been raining this morning, so it's
Lele,
fluctuating my network.
it's okay. It's fine. Just
Just
bring
to
your
do with
fine
it.
face.
Okay, good morning,
That's
Yadas. Good morning,
that's how we
non-Yadas.
need to be here. All
Can you
right.
hear
So
me now?
welcome. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, and it's not echoing. Beautiful. So welcome.
Okay.
Talk to us.
Thank
How
you,
did you
coach. Yeah.
join the
Mm.
inner circle? How did you come in contact with the Intentional Parent Academy and joining the inner circle? Over to you, Christy.
Okay, so I started my journey in 2020. I joined sometime in 2020, but of course I started my journey in December 2020, which was my first year in the academy. And I met coach from one of her Facebook live. Somehow I stumbled on her Facebook live Tuesday live session, and I was listening, and I was like, are there people that teach on parents so well like this? So I was following and I was listening to her, and I think about discipline that day, on how you don't need to flog your children for them to become responsible children. You don't need to hit them, you don't need to yell, and what discipline is really about. So it caught my attention, and I started my journey of following her, watching her Facebook live, following her post. I joined the community on Facebook, and then of course I started doing some of the courses that were available to me at that time. So I continued until I was able to now start up my journey in December 2020, and then we started in 2021 and continue like that. I I didn't do so much. I would say I did so much in my first year. Of course, I had a baby at the time I registered for the inner circle, and so I was that lucky person who
Oh dear. Okay. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. We lost Christy a bit. I'm sure she's going to be back here. All right, so sorry about that. Christy is sharing her journey, and Christy is telling us how to join the yard. She's one of the people who are in Thanksgiving mode. Christy, just continue from where you stop.
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I was talking about when I joined the inner circle. So I had a baby at that time. She was just about 8 months or thereabouts. So I started okay, I think I joined the inner circle December 2021, not 2020. So I joined 2021, and she was just beginning, she was just a baby. So some of the mistakes that I started were not they've not become critical, like giving her screen. In fact, I was just that parent who thought that the screen is going to help me keep my child busy when I want to do something. Just put her on the screen and go and be doing my own thing. So I'll just keep her there, continue with what I was doing, and she'll be engaged there, and she will continue to watch, and I'll be doing what I was doing. Can I be heard, please?
Loud and clear.
Okay. So I continue like that. I was having fun that she was listening to it and was just skiing there, paying attention. In my mind, okay, she will also be learning in the process. So let her just be there. So I continue like that until I started learning. Coach started hammering on why you should not give your children screen when they are below the age of 18 months to 2 years old. So I said, how am I going to now do it? What will I replace it with? And of course, you don't just take away, you take away and you replace. So I started learning from coach what to do with screen, how to, you know, take away screen and put something that how children don't learn in the screen, especially babies and toddlers. There are other things that they should be learning from at that age, but I was ignorant of it because, of course, nobody has taught me. So I started following God. And then when we joined the inner circle, coach talked about family values, how you need to, build your family values, your family mission, your family vision, and everything in between. So the whole thing just my head, like it was like a 360-degree turnaround for me. I started learning so much about how to parent my child, how to understand the child and parenting, and all of that. So I started growing on my own path. I think the first year of my inner circle was for me. I was just growing because, of course, I still had a baby. So two of us were growing together. My child was growing. And of course, I'm a young lady that married early. I was the first to get married in my home. So I didn't have another sibling that has already had experience with child rearing, except for people that have maybe taken care of from sibling, from relatives and all. So I didn't have that experience, but with the inner circle, I started equipping myself. I started learning how to manage my emotions, how to put myself under check, how to regularly review what it is that I'm doing in my parenting journey, and how to parent my children better. So inner circle came and just turned things around for me. Just yelling, there was no yelling. It's not going to, to solve the problem for whatever it is that you're doing. So the inner circle just was what I needed at that time. And I thank God that I met inner circle at the time that I met it, because if I had gone so far, maybe I would have met costly mistakes, have developed screen, because I would have continued wallowing in that ignorance of, okay, my child, just keep her busy in the screen and just be doing your own thing. So today, when I look back and see other parents who now use.
Alrighty, of course, Christy is a little bit out again, and I'm sure that Christy is going to be back. But did you hear what she said? She said, I joined the inner circle. She's one of the very old yadas. Yeah, she's been in the inner circle for a long time. She joined when she joined then she was just a young lady, she's in the 20s, all right. And I count them really, really. I say that they are really blessed. They don't even know how much. Christy, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can. Yes, coach.
Please go
So
ahead.
sorry.
Yes. No, that's fine. Go ahead.
All right. So I one of the first courses I took was the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro challenge. Omo, that whole challenge was a really challenge indeed, because it challenged the things I knew.
Hmm.
Because growing up, there was not so much education or conversation around sex, in my home. Yes, my parents were amazing, but they didn't also have enough knowledge. So there was little or not much they could say. The only thing that I was told was, okay, you have started seeing your period. Now, anything you do, you carry pregnancy. That was all. You don't have to sit on somebody's lap, because from there you can get pregnant. I was like, how is it going to? I was not scared. So instead of implanting knowledge, what I was being implanted with is fear and
Hmm.
anxiety and curiosity, because why
Hmm.
that might scare some people, it can also make other people to want to try it out and see, let me even go and see if this is really going to work. But we know
Hmm.
today that sitting on somebody's laps, in fact, it has never been something that can get someone pregnant. It is just the knowledge that they think they had at that time, and they could use it to keep you from following men. So for some of us that got married virgins, it was not necessarily about how our parents equipped us not to get involved. It was somehow because we escaped. Maybe we didn't have the environment that even allowed that to happen. And some of us also escaped being raped and all. Some of us also were victims of sexual molestation and sexual abuse, because our parents did not teach us something better to do, or how to
Hmm.
navigate through that period. Because a
Hmm.
puberty stage is a stage that teenagers go haywire if there is nothing that is keeping them insane, if there is no parent to keep them in check, if they've not been equipped with the right skill, they can go everywhere. So I nearly escaped. Of course, I nearly escaped rape several times. I escaped sexual molestations, but I could not even come up to tell my parents because I didn't have that level of relationship where I could share such thing. I was scared that I might be blamed for being, for someone trying to molest me as a young lady. So I was scared. I kept it to myself. But I knew that that was not the best thing. I wished I could share, but I didn't have the courage to share because I didn't know how it's going to come out, when I share it with my parents. But the sex educator, like a pro, changed my perspective and told me how your children should learn everything around sex conversation from you first. The law of first mention, like coach will say, it has to start with you. And it starts from when you give birth to your child. It starts from the little things. It starts from how you dress your children. If you have a girl child, don't start dressing them like a boy. Don't affirm them like a boy. Don't wish they were a boy. That is sex conversation for a baby. If you have a baby boy, don't groom them and then want to start making their hair and making them look like a woman. Some of us will start wearing them our wigs and making fun of it. So those little things were things that are even sex conversation on its own. So I learned that you don't need to wait for that child to grow and become an adult before you start teaching them the simple things about sex conversation. So it starts from day one. It starts from your own orientation. So I began to change my orientation about, sex and all, what I need to teach my child, when I need to start. So I created sex conversation plan for our daughter from when she was small. I started with telling her, I told people in my home, we don't use any other terminologies for any body part. We use the right name. Vagina is vagina, penis is penis, breast is breast. Don't paint it, don't sugarcoat it, don't call it any other thing. So that when this thing is being touched by someone outside, they can come and tell me specifically, this person did this and that. Because they might not understand it if you're using another term. So my daughter knows now. She'll say vagina is for women, penis is for boys. Sometimes the way she screams it, I'll be like, please reduce your voice. Because it's not a big word for her to say again. Unlike when we're growing up, where you can't even say vagina with your mouth. So now she knows. And she will tell you things that happen in her life in that manner. So we have learned, I have been able to teach her good touches, bad touches, good images, bad images, the things that when you become uncomfortable, tell the person no, stop. So our daughter can comfortably tell us no. I'll tell her, even me as your mom, if I touch you in a way that you don't like, tell me. I will stop. If your daddy touches you in a way you don't like, tell him. He will stop. So that we don't create an idea that, okay, we are the ultimate. While we may not have that, in the mind to of course, we won't want to hurt our children, but you cannot vouch for people outside. So that is the reason why you have to teach them and start with you. If you touch them in a way they don't like, let them tell you so that you can stop. So that when they also go out there and someone touches them the way they don't like, they can also, talk to the person and say, I don't, please stop. So that is how I've been able to walk through my journey in the first year. And of course, I did the second year in 2022 because Inner Circle is a lifetime program. Is a lifetime. It's not something you cannot scratch the surface in 1 year. I learned that. By the time I was done with year one, I said, no, we are just beginning. We are just scratching the surface. As my children are growing, that's how I'll be growing in the Inner Circle. It's like a school. You don't graduate after your first year. So if you are thinking that, okay, I've done 1 year, let me go and now rest or continue with what. My 3 years in year one has never been the same. Nothing is the same. Like it is completely different. The webinars, the voice notes, the tools, everything is different. So as coach is growing, the program of the Inner Circle, the curriculum is also growing. So
oh wow, of course you're listening to Christy Ikedieze. Of course, that's what happens when you've been in the Inner Circle for that long. You're anybody who is, I call them the senior yarders, right? All of them will come, they just, they just keep going. You see how the conversation just goes and just keeps going. All right. There's so much to take away already. And and that is what Christy have been sharing here. Yes, Christy is back. You are going to be here with us today. Christy just battling with a bit of her network here and there. But I love what Christy, I love where she took it off from. She took it off from the place of, see, my daughter is young, and I'm grateful that I joined when I was, I was just starting. You see others who have actually really, others who have grown in the inner circle when you hear them speak. Shout out to you, Rebecca Elu. These are one of the ancient yarders. One of the people that, we started the inner circle with. They are a group of inner circle yarders that the inner circle started with. And they've grown on the inner circle. So Christy was in the very next year of the inner circle. And she said something. She said the inner circle program is a lifetime program. It's not the place where, you just come, you just, hit. It's not a hit and run program. So if you are one of the hit and run people, right, forget it. Forget it. This is not for you. It's not hit and run. It's a growth system. All right. Yes, I see you, Judge. Omolaraj said, inner circle is a life school. We know they graduate. We don't graduate. We're here. We're here. And there's something Christy said. He said, I have done 3 years in year 1. And no 3 years of being in that level has been the same. The voice notes are different. The webinars are different. And that is always the truth. Because so as you're growing, I'm growing as well. I tell you that you're not the only one growing, right? We're also growing, right in the system. All right. The curriculum is growing. Everything is changing. Somebody was out of the inner circle for a year. She had gone the inner circle 1 year left, came back the very next year. I think she had, a life-changing surgery, and, came back the next year, and she sent me a chat. She said, is this still same inner circle that I knew? I said, yes, it's the very same inner circle. She said, wow, I can't believe it. And of course, if you leave one day and you come back the next day, you will see a lot of changes. Yes, inner circle is a lifetime program. Is a lifetime program. And I think that that's, where, I took it from. And Christy is, when I look at people like Christy, I'm like, oh, more, hi, how God has blessed these young people who just get it right at the beginning. Talking about that, Christy talked. How has the inner circle affected your life? How has the inner circle? I know a bit of the story. Christy is a rider like me. Riders, are you here? Where are the conclave riders? Are you guys here? All right. So I know a bit of Christy's story. I've met Christy, here and there, of course, but I'm sure that I haven't really been able to sit to listen to a part of her story, which I'll be so grateful to hear today. Right. So, Christy, tell us, how has the inner circle impacted your life, personally, your marriage, personally, your career, and even your parenting? Over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Coach. Okay, I'll start with my life. Of course, one of the major blessings I have gotten from inner circle is growth. When I say growth, like I have really, really, really grown. So when I was getting married, of course, some people were like, is she not too young? What is she going to do? A lot of people accepted for me to go ahead. Of course, because of the relationship I had to tell, when you need to tell this person and that person and here and there, they know that you have grown, but somehow they are not really, really. But I knew that I was supposed to get married at the time I got married. That is one of the things I knew. So the fear was like, can she raise children? Can she manage her marriage? Is she going to stay in the marriage for long? And then I now met inner circle. So inner circle was that how will I put it? It just moved me from where I was and skyrocketed me to somewhere that I'm even scared of, that I've gotten in less than 4 years of being in the inner circle. I have so grown. My perspective about life has changed completely. I have chosen my heart. There are some things that doesn't mean anything to me now. Not like they don't shake me, or it's not things that matter, but I have chosen to go the extra mile, to do things differently, to see life from a better perspective. So when things happen to me, I sit back and say, okay, why did this happen this way? What was I supposed to do differently? How would I have done better? Or how would I have avoided it if it is something that I can avoid, of course. But if it is not something I can avoid, I take it in good faith. I digest it, I process it, and then I use it as an experience for myself. So I've had issues that happened to me when I had my first child. I had an issue, I had a postpartum cardiomyopathy. So I suffered with that, and then in trying to now prevent, because I was told, okay, you don't have to have a child at least for now. So I was told to go and do a family planning. I did one, and it got missing in my womb and all of that. So I had to go through another surgery after the surgery that I used to give birth to my daughter. It was a whole lot, so those events shaped my life and strengthened me to now see that life is not a bowl of potato. You're not coming here to just come and enjoy. Life will hit you from different corners. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your circumstance, it doesn't matter your environment, it doesn't matter what you think that you know. When life hits you, it is what you now know that will help you, and this relationship that you've guided yourself with that will help you go through that phase. And I was able to navigate through that process for 1 year. I was on medication to recover my heart and all of that. So inner circle helped me to process things differently, to be able to see something and say, this is what I'm going to do about this, to make better decisions. Because one of the things that we struggle with is how to make the right decision. Sometimes you are just, doing guesswork in making decisions. I'll try this one. If it doesn't work, I'll try this one. But there's also a place where you come, when you're making decisions, you know that by exactitude, this is going to work, because I am not just doing it out of my instinct. I have learned, I have gotten counsel, I have followed the process, I have read books. And so I know that if I do this way, it's going to give me the result I want. So that has helped me in dealing with issues in life, and how I relate with people around me. It has also changed. I now relate with people knowing that if I'm going to relate with you, I have to bring value in that relationship. I cannot relate with you and there's nothing you are learning from me.
Okay, I
My
think our
relationship
guest is
with
today.
people,
Okay.
my relationship with my spouse, my relationship with my children, we are all
Okay, we have Christy sharing on my intentional parenting journey. And one thing that Christy is saying that is hitting back to back in that conversation is that, see, I have grown. And to say it from the background part of it, someone who have been able to watch Christy grow, and I can tell you for free, this young girl has grown, like grown. You know how you see young people who just are privileged, to go through mentorship. It just changes something about them. And Christy is actually sharing on her journey, where she's saying, see, I have grown, I have moved from where I used to be. Over to you, Christy. Please continue.
okay. Sorry, my network went off. Okay, so I was sharing how I have learned to give values in relationships, and then of course I have also learned discipline. That is one of my biggest wins in the inner circle. We say we are disciplined people, we have discipline, but coach has destroyed the table of people that are disciplined. And most of us bragged that our fathers were disciplinarians. And what they meant by discipline is how they whip you the cane and their belt and their koboko. That is their own definition of discipline. But I've watched coach, how she is disciplined, how she shows up, how she does things, how she follows it. I don't want to peep into coach's schedule because I know it's going to be crazy. Like it's a crazy one. And yet she comes out put together, doing one thing per time. She'll finish our webinars and she'll be on live session on Instagram. Tuesday, she's always there, even when she's not even in Nigeria or in her, base. And all of that, she could make excuses for it, but she has chosen not to because she knows that this is a higher calling I have to do. So it has also rubbed off on me. Things I need to do. I don't start making excuses and say, okay, I cannot do it because this one happened. Oh, I cannot do it because that one happened. I have chosen the things I need to do at time, and I do it regardless of if it's easy or not. So I'll share a story. Coach talked about, in fact, what I do is when coach is giving us voice notes in the inner circle, yes, she gives us voice notes every morning. I call it daily digest and morning breakfast, because it's what I used to feed my spirit and my soul. So every morning she sends in voice notes and I listen to it. Sometimes she will say things randomly and I'll pick it up and I'll run with it. So there was a time coach was mentioning how she used to exercise and do squatting, 500 squats. I told myself, "What is it? 230, I'll start shaking. It's not me. I am going to improve myself." I love exercising. I do exercise, but the time that coach started, talking about how exercise helps her to build her strength and how it helps her to be able to do a lot of things without being worked up by exercising every week, exercise a minimum of 3 times. And that's my season of life cannot allow me to go to the gym. I do it in my house. I got a few equipment for myself. So I do it in my house. I exercise. And I said, I am going to build my strength so that whatever that I need to do, I will be able to do it. And it has started helping me so that even if I have 1,000 things to do in a day.
Okay, we're a bit knocked out again, and Christy was sharing on how she's been able to grow her discipline. And said she said one of the things. Christy is one of my exercise followers. Yes, we have people who have followed on that trail. If you know me very well, you know that I love to work out physically. Yes, because I heard one day seated, your physical health is your responsibility. Me, the God, the Holy Spirit, you shall not be helped. You will help yourself. And I began to realize that some things that we actually pray for, it's not necessary to pray for. I picked up myself and I started to actually work out intentionally. And work out, do squats, build my strength. If you come in contact with me, I'm never overwhelmed. I'm not, I don't lose strength, that's because I have also built strength. So Christy is sharing how she's been able to get to that point where she's also able to build it. And she said, the season of my life will not let me to really get into the space, right, where I can, go to the gym like coach will, but I have factored it in where I am today without making an excuse. Christy, continue. Go ahead. Can you hear us?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you go ahead?
Wow. Okay. Okay, so I was talking about discipline, how in a
Okay, so I guess we're still battling with that network. So and she was sharing about how that has also helped her to actually begin to do squats. I remember when I was talking to a group of people and I said I've actually moved my squatting every day to 1,000, and somebody looked at me and said, I thought you were still at 500. I was trying to catch up with you. Nah, you don't you don't catch up with a moving train, right? You can only follow. And one of the things that you are able to do, the law of the Matthew effect, right? You know the law of the Matthew effect. The more you do, it's in the Bible, the more you are given. All right. To those who are, so it's doers that actually gain what it is, that access to a lot of things. So it's not people who don't do. So you see people say, oh, the rich gets richer. It is because the rich are doers. Oh, you're doing a lot of exercise and you can do 500 today, tomorrow you can do 1,000, next tomorrow you can do 2,000. It's because you are a doer. If you are on the trail of doing, one of the things that actually keeps you in that way is that you gain more momentum to actually do more. But if you're on the trail of, I don't know, I'm overwhelmed, and that's why I stay to Yadas all the time. Start where you are. Start where you're doing what you're doing. If you share all of the excuses are very valid, and you can find them everywhere. And I remember one time that I was teaching in the inner circle, I said, the truth of the matter is that most times you say you don't have time, but you sleep late because you're scrolling on your phone. You scroll on your phone from 10 p.m. and you find yourself 12 midnight, you're not sleeping. Why? That's why you can't wake up at 5. Moreover, there are those of us who are awake at 5. Before we are even doing 8 o'clock, we have achieved so much. You can't catch up with us, unfortunately, because you have not built that discipline. And that's why discipline is one of my favorite subjects in parenting, because the way discipline has been taught, over the years have been wrong. If we're so disciplined, why can't we as disciplined as drop our phone when we're having a conversation? I was having a conversation with, Yaders, while we were, I think one of the Yaders, while we were in Lagos. She was sitting with me and she had about an hour conversation with me. And she said, I never saw you touch your phone. And I know that you work online. And I said, I'm having a conversation with you. The phone is not going to run away. I'm disciplined enough to know that I'm having a conversation with someone. I don't need to be on my phone, except there's an emergency. And most times, some of the things we call emergencies are not emergencies. Some of the things we call emergencies are just us, coming in and just telling ourselves, oh, this thing is an emergency. And then we now chronicle. And then we say things like, oh, there's no time. Truth is, you have all the time. And when people say, I'm very busy, when your dads are coming in, say, coach, you don't understand, I'm very busy. Hello, news flash. Bring your schedule. Let me bring mine. Let's actually chronicle who is busier. Most times we're not busy. We're just wasting our time on things that don't matter. If you really are able to look at your process, you find that you're not as busy as you claim. That's the truth. And you can actually do all things. Last webinar, on Thursday webinar with the inner circle parents, I said, when we quote, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And when something comes, you can no longer do all things. You're now overwhelmed. Oshe? Thank you so much, Chrissy. You're back. Continue, please. Chrissy, please go ahead. Can you hear us? Hello, Christy. Can you hear us? Hello, Christy. Christy? Hello? Okay, I do not think that Christy can hear us. I don't know why that she cannot hear us. Maybe she will need to log out again and log in again. Team, please help Christy do that. All right, let her log out and log in again. And I think our network is doing her a lot today. So sorry about that. And Christy has so much to actually say. All right. So I was saying something, and I said, if you want the excuses are always valid, And Christy was sharing part of her journey, and she said, I saw that, okay, can I build my strength at this point in my season of my life? I cannot be going to the gym like I have seen, an example. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do it in such a way that I will still be able to produce results, even though I am where it is that I am. All right. And can you hear me, Christy? Hello, Christy. Can you hear me? Hello, Christy. Can you hear me? Okay. She still cannot hear me. Please let reach out to the guests and get her to log out and log in again. All right. All righty. Thank you so much. The network should please allow us to hear the wonderful conversation with Christy. Thank you so much for joining us. And we are going to be, going to actually be, getting there. Yes, like I said, you can't catch up with a moving train. Yeah. So we're moving. So do not think that, the things that, we're doing this thing and it's not something that is it really working? It's not, and all of the things that we say to ourselves. The problem is that most times we're not even disciplined enough to actually put ourselves in processes. And then we submit, oh, it doesn't work. So yesterday, I had an interesting conversation with someone on my timeline, all right? And that person said to me, right, on that timeline, that, oh, she read 2 of my books, The Discipline That Works and Connect to Correct. And that when she read it, that she didn't see where it was step to step what she's supposed to do. That she's a yelling mother who has young children. She wanted to stop yelling. And then she read the book. She didn't see, nothing happened. nothing, there was nothing that changed. And I asked her simple questions. I took a portion of the books and I said, did you read this part and did you practice it? Now, this is the problem. Most times we read to actually finish. We don't read to practice. Two different things. And most times we attend class to just finish. We don't read, we don't attend to implement. Christy, are you here? Okay. I think she's still, battling. We don't attend we don't attend to implement. So, you come into the inner circle. You come in with I just want to hear what they are saying. I'm not really, and the interesting thing, if you also listen really well, you will still be changed. But most times we're not even listening to be changed. We're listening to, how do they say it? We're listening to share, what it's in, what is the- what exactly it says that they even say. So, but if you are implementing, not just finishing, is a different conversation. Christy, can you hear me? All right. I don't think she can. All right. So I think she's still battling. So if you attend to just finish, and I see a lot of people who do that, right? We attend to finish. We come in to finish. We come in to finish. Oh, let me jump from where I am and go to the next level. Oh, and if that is your mentality about joining a system, all right, that's where you will see the inner circle as a hit and run program. Let me just go and see what it is that is happening there. No, I hit and I run. Unfortunately, if you do that, you will not be able to actually get to the to the root of what it is that is happening. Somebody said maybe she should change her position. Yeah, I think I agree. Let her send her position to somewhere else in the house. Maybe that will help. Okay. So you need to get to a point where you become a doer. And a doer finds a way where there is no way. A doer finds a way where there is no way. So when you hear something to do, one of the things that actually helps you and propels you is, so I'm hearing this thing today. How does it apply to me? Unfortunately, instead, what we do is, hey, I'm worrying about this inner circle. It's not for me. So you submit. So when I started to query that person who shared that thing online, she now said, I saw all the steps. I didn't practice it because my children are toddlers. I do not think it applies to toddlers. I said, I don't write for toddlers, I write for parents. So you apply to every parent. The problem is that you wanted a quick one on your children. You didn't want, to deal with it from the point of you moving from that place where you are a fixer to a facilitator. When you are a fixer to a facilitator, the problem is that you want to fix. So you are constantly looking at your children. So as parents, we often look at our children with the need to fix every problem. We want to fix the problem our children are facing. We want to fix the problem of the things. We want to fix the problem of failed tests, broken relationship, missed opportunities. We want to fix all the problems. But instead of being a fixer, why not begin to be a facilitator? It means allowing your children to walk through these challenges with your guidance and walking through you, so your children begin to see you as something they look at to also be able to fix. Christy, can you hear us now?
Yes, please. I
All
can hear
right.
you.
Please go
Whether the
ahead. You
devil
were
likes it or
about
not, I'm going
to.
to share.
All right, please. Yes, please go ahead and share about your. We were on how did the inner circle have it impacted you, your relationships, your marriage, your your um your children, and all of that. Thank you so much. Please go ahead.
Okay, so sorry for the delay. So on my marriage, okay, yes, I shared about my life, and then my marriage. I had a marriage that was no problem, but we know that it is not where it should be. I had that marriage that we don't have problem. Like coach say, it's not about you had a problem for you to know that your marriage is just there functioning. It's just a functional marriage. It was not transformational marriage per se. So inner circle has helped me to bring in transformation into my marriage, to bring value into my marriage, to bring skills that we need. Communication in my marriage has greatly improved in the past 3 years I've been in the inner circle. I used to be that person that when you're upset or you want to share something with your husband, all of a sudden you now start crying, you want to use your emotional blackmail, you want to cry, and you don't love me, you don't love me again. Coach has just mesmerized me on that area. I know that, madam, if you want to discuss with your husband, talk maturely. If you know that your emotions are not together, you can say, can we talk about this later? I'm not in the right frame of mind right now. So there is no emergency on that. You can take some time and then come back to it. So usually we now have what we call our weekly ritual talk, where we just have time on Sundays, just sit down. Aside from the daily gisting that, of course, I learned from the couples conclave. Shout out to my master conclave. He has, in fact, I'm coming up to that point. I'm coming to that side. I have not come there. The impact of the retreat that we had a few weeks ago, I'm coming to
Mm.
that. So my marriage has greatly improved, and we talk things out better. We are open to each other on every corner, on every side. There is honor. There are things that we can't say to each other, no matter how upset that you are. So I have added more honor to my husband, more respect to him. It doesn't matter what he does, even when he's not getting it right. Sometimes I will tell him, can we do this way? And you said okay, and eventually he will do it another way and it will backfire. Normal me would have said, I told you. You know that meh kind of feeling that you want to give. That's what I would say in my mind. But I will not say it. I will not say it out. I'll just absorb it and say, wow, so sorry about it. Maybe next time. He'll by himself. He said, I should have listened to you or this. So, but before, it should have been, did I tell you, serves you right, kind of thing. So, but I have learned that is not how it should work. So I have improved on how I communicate with my husband. So when I'm coming to tender what I want him to do, I don't just come like because I'm your wife. I come with points, solid points,
Mm.
to
Mm.
validate why that thing should be done that way, why we should do this way. Not because I want you to just do it, not because I'm your wife, so you should if you love me, do it. No, that is not how we do it in my home. You bring your
Mm.
solid points, and the one that has more value in it, we'll go with it either ways, either his or mine. Sometimes I might even bring a better suggestion, but if he still doesn't take it, I don't get upset. I don't say, oh, you
Mm.
did not take it, and so next time I will not. Before, maybe when we are discussing and he's going a certain way, I just say, fine, leave it. I'm not talking again. I'm not talking again. It's okay. That does not solve the problem. Also, I'll be like, this is not going and it's not helping. Just because you think that, okay, I have not understood you, allow me to understand you so that I can even know what to say. So that is where we have gone. And sometimes I will allow him to, process things. Before, I used to be that person that I want you to start talking, no. As I'm giving you that, as it is in my heart, just giving me feedback immediately. But my husband is someone that wants to process things. He will just say, I will get back to you. But in my mind, all this fire that I just poured, that you just want to allow it to die like that. You're supposed to give me back so that the thing will just keep going. But inner circle has helped me to know you speak with honor, you communicate with honor, you don't just talk anyhow because you think this person is your spouse and you have the right to speak to them like that. So, and it has also showed in how my children relate to him, because our children are watching. So whatever it is that we are doing, they are watching and they are following. When you talk to your spouse anyhow, trust me, your children will do worse, because what you're sowing is seed, and seed doesn't come back as a seed, it comes out as a tree. It comes back with
Mhm.
so many fruits that
Mm.
you will not even harvest yourself. You cannot harvest
Mm.
all yourself. Everybody around be a partaker of it. People around will start disrespecting your spouse, and you don't know that it is because of what you. So I've watched Coach how she respects the husband, how she carries him in the public and in the private. And I said, this should be me also. So I started, learning from afar. In fact, I don't need to go to Coach's DM to go and ask her things. I just need to watch her. I just need to listen to her. I just need to read her book. I was saying during one of our review that I collected from Coach. in raising the independent thinking. I collected, I humbly took it and put it inside my bag and wore my humility and say, yes, you think you have known it, or coach has just showed you that just a little thing that I thought that didn't matter. It just goes on. In fact, I said, coach, did you come to my house yesterday? How is it that it's just this same thing I did that you are writing out to me, and why I shouldn't be doing it? So inner circle has transformed my marriage in that regard. And then there's no much fight again. There's no back and forth. When we have issue, we sit down and we talk things out and we resolve it and move on. There's no room for keeping malice and being resentful. I used to keep malice. I would just be one word answer. You ask me, all those, those nastiness. And you think that you want to join, yeah, my husband will be feeling pained that I'm not talking to him. You are doing yourself. Our marriage counselor, Coach Kule, will tell us that even if you have married for 5 years, you still have a long way to stay with this person. So are you going to enjoy it? Or are you going to keep leaving your marriage to deteriorate? And at the end of the day, you don't have a fulfilled marriage in your life. So I have a long way to go with my partner. And so I have to make the best out of it. So it has transformed my mind. Then in my parenting, of course, that is the highlight of everything. Going through the courses, going through the webinars, going through the master classes and the voice notes, everything has changed my life. Of course, I started my daughter with screen. But when I had my son, I knew that I was not going to do that. I struggled to correct it in my daughter. So I knew that mistake, I can't afford to repeat it. Because it got to a point where my daughter will be dragging my son's phone, my husband's phone, dragging it and wanting to watch something with it. And I know that this is not normal. And I've heard coach say that their children don't touch their phone because they made it clear from the one that phone is not a toy. If you need a toy, I will give you a toy, but our phones are not a toy. In fact, our daughter spoiled one of my husband's phone. Then when we started, before I started inner circle, because he gave her the phone to be watching cartoon, and then she started eating it, and the saliva spoiled. Children's saliva can be very strong, so he spoiled the phone. This one is not up to a year. That was the end of that phone. So I said, no, this is not ordinary. We have to stop, giving our children our phones to watch anything. And besides, she's still too young. So I started taking it out and started buying books, started buying small puzzles and building blocks, started doing it together. Of course, it will take time for it to correct. So today I look back and I say, my daughter doesn't even bother with our phones anymore. She doesn't even take it to say, I want to watch anything. We said no more screen within the week. So even in the weekend, which is Saturday and so Friday is not part of weekend for us to watch screen in my home. Friday is not even part of it. It's Saturday and Sunday. And even some of those Saturdays and Sundays, because of the engagement and the activities that we do at home together, she even forgets that you're supposed to watch screen today. Except there is maybe something they're supposed to learn in their school that she needs to watch the video and get a knowledge of. Then we can now do that. And it has been limited to 30 minutes. Even at her 4 years, she still watched 30 minutes. I've not even increased it to 1 hour because I'm like, what's you going to be watching for 1 hour? 30 minutes is enough. You watch it, you go and do something else. And before you even watch it, you will tell me the list of things you've done for yourself and in the house. Have you done your reading? Have you built blocks? Have you done a puzzle? Have you played with your brother? Have you gone outside? So on her birthday, we got her a bike so that she'll use it to be part of her activities to increase the things that she can be able to do. So instead of just sitting down, she can ride the bike, and that is exercising her muscles and building her, her bones. So instead of just sitting down there being dormant, just looking at the screen and all of that, she does so many things. So when I had her son, there was no screen. He is about 17 months now. He's over 18 months now, and he has never been on the screen before. And you could tell the difference. Like, it's so clear. My son can understand things. We don't speak like we are talking to a child. We talk like normal talking. Go and get this. He will go. My son is thirsty. He will go to where his pack of water is, get one of the bottles there, get his drinking water bottle, and give it to you to pour it for him. So his level of articulation and understanding is so high than that of my daughter when she was that age, because we have never had a need to put him on the screen. In fact, even when the sister is watching, I don't even allow him to be there. I take him and go and do something else so that he doesn't even watch in proxy. And even if he happens to be passing by, he's not even interested. My son doesn't care about cartoons. Like, he's not bothered. When you can be watching and be going where he's going to. He's so articulated. His milestones are being met even before the time you will expect it. So we allow him to explore things. We allow him to play with things. If you give him a book, he'll just be watching and be flipping the pages. And because I also read to him, so he'll just be flipping the pages and be following what it is that he's seeing there, rather than just putting him on the screen. So I have that advantage. In fact, I call him my TRP testimony and my TRP baby, because I see the work that I have put in our daughter and in the process, and it has rubbed off. So he's now the beneficiary of what it is that I have done in the inner circle. My son is someone that, he knows how to express himself. He can express himself even without knowing how to talk well. He can show you the things that he wants. He can direct, he will pull you to that place, point at the thing he wants. And when you get it, he makes the excitement that, yes, this is what it is I'm looking for. And that couldn't have happened if I was not putting in the work. And I also, one of the things I have done with our son is to allow him to struggle with things. I allow our son to struggle. Like, coach said that if you take away responsibility from a boy, you have killed that son. If you put too much comfort, you have killed the boy. A boy child needs less comfort. So I have been able to do that with our son. When he wants to do something, I allow him. When he plays with his building block, he will pack it. I don't used to pack toys anymore. I packed for my daughter, and I know how I struggle to get her to start doing it, because you have been packing for me. Why are you not packing again? But I started from the beginning telling our son, you are the one going to pack it. So when he's even in my kitchen, I allow you go and be pulling out wardrobes, drawers, carrying things, and no problem. When you are done, I'll be showing you where to put back each one. So that he has that understanding that you cannot just mess things up and leave it for me to come and do. So that's one of the wins I've had in my parenting. Our daughter, because of one of the master class that changed things for me is that back to school master class. Before our daughter went to school, I went with my husband to the school. We interviewed them. We brought the questions that coach taught us, and you must ask the school your child is going to, because you are going to be a partner, a part of that school. You don't just allow your child to just go to any school, because we had a neighbor then when we were living before that was saying, just bring her to this school now. All of our children are there. And I said, I don't do like that. Your children can be there. If it's not the right school for my child, she is not going to come there. I am not doing Achikate Okwanu parents, all of us. Let us, because we are not neighbors. What's the interpretation again? I forgot that we have, sorry. All right. So I didn't buy that idea. So I went to the school, I scrutinized them, I asked them things. I asked them, do you people celebrate Pride Month in this school? Because if you do, see me, I'm running. I cannot have a business with you, even if you've met all the other criteria, because they're also all this British school, they teach British curriculum, yes. So I wanted to be sure that my child is not going to get involved in a place where all the things I'm doing at home will be, trashed. So I asked them, they said, no, they don't. In fact, I think the owner of the school is a redeemed pastor. So I said, correct. So at least I have that assurance in that regard that this is going to be, the right place. So, and it has been a journey. The school has been also, the things that I teach in the house, they emphasize more on it in the school. So it's like a collaboration that I'm doing with them. And then I took it a step further and said, Coach talked about how she used to go to her child's school, how they go to her child's school on Fridays to, talk with the teacher. I said, okay, I picked that and I started going on Fridays. I'll carry myself. Even when I was heavily pregnant, I would go and sit with the teacher and ask her, what are the areas you think our daughter is struggling? What complaints you have about her? Are there things you think she needs to work on? And I also give my own feedback. And we had a target on what she should come back with as her average last year when she was in nursery 2. So I started working on her on that, helping her to read better. And then one of the things I also don't do is do her assignments for her. She does it by herself. I don't get involved. If she needs clarification, I can give her clarification. And when it is clear that she doesn't understand, I'll tell her, you need to go and tell your teacher that you don't understand this thing so that she can teach it again. Even when I go, I also tell her, I think you need to make emphasis on this for my daughter. So I'm not one of those parents that just allow things to just go anyhow. You don't even open their book. You don't check their communication book. You don't check their assignment. I go through them. So that helped us to be able to achieve that goal. And last year, my daughter came back with 99.3 average. And that was the goal. And we met it because I didn't leave it to chance. We're working, doing building blocks at home, puzzles, and all of that. It helped me to achieve that. She has won best behaved in her school 2 consecutive times, in her nursery 1 and her nursery 2. And it's because of the things I'm doing with her in the house. In fact, her teacher will tell me that when I get married, I'll come and learn from you. The way you are doing this or your intentional thing is too much. I registered my daughter's teachers in sex education like I don't miss that. All of them. I registered my family member. In fact, it was like a community service that we came for doing this past sex education. I say everybody in my house, everybody is inside. I cannot be learning, you will not be learning. Tomorrow you come and I can't have someone that I won't trust my child in their hand. So I did that with our daughter, and then it has been rewarding. It has been rewarding. So everything is laying block at one block on top of the other for me in my journey. Our daughter is expressive. She's that courageous child that is not scared of telling you what you did wrong. My daughter will come and it's as well that she'll tell you, Mommy, you've not taken your baits this morning. You've not taken you've not taken your bait. Please go and take your baits. So someone like that is someone you can easily shut down and say, why you don't talk? You don't talk to an adult. But we allow her express herself. But then we'll put her through a process that will help her to navigate. When you are now talking, you talk with honor, you talk with respect. That is one thing that we teach in our home. And she is a strong-willed child. When coach did that Tuesday live, I was writing like it was a webinar in Inner Circle. Because I knew that I have one in my home. And I felt blessed that I have a strong-willed child. Because I know that they are the people that lead. And she is a leader in her class. Her teacher will tell me, Emilia is the one that will tell people, stop making noise, keep quiet. But at the same time, she's also that same person that will want to tell you that I am correct. So if you want to get the good side and not be able to manage the other side of it, you will now crush the child and crush the spirit of that child. So I've learned that. So I'm careful with her. You don't say shut up in my home. We don't use that terminology. It's prohibited. You can say please be quiet, but saying shut up is prohibited, especially to our children, because you think that you have authority, you have power. So I can tell you shut up and press you down and just subdue you like that. That's what happened to us, that some of us can't talk. We can't open up and say, I don't like the way you're doing this to me. I don't think this is right, because adults are not supposed to be told what to do. It's only children that you tell what to do. And I know that today we are the ones not telling our parents what to do, because the table has turned. And if there was no good relationship with them, they are the people that will suffer, because you won't even have business with them. I have people around me who don't have a good relationship with their parents, who don't even care to call. But I can call my mom. I've lost my dad, but I can call my mom and we can talk for an hour. We will talk. During sex education, I registered my mom. I said, Mommy, come and learn. These children are going to be coming for holidays in your house. And I want, if they come, I will be sure that you are teaching them the right things. They cannot come and I'll be scared. I need you to know what I know. The things you miss, you need to learn it. Even my sister have called her and spoken with her how the gaps that she had in sex educating us. And so she needs to, know that. That's why I brought her into that sex educating like a child, your child like a pro Charlie. So everybody around me is on the same page. I don't have friends that don't believe in growth. I have learned to walk away from relationships that are not serving me. When I have outgrown a relationship, I take a walk. I don't even call you on phone. And it's not because we are enemies now, but it's not serving me. Because I've learned that relationships are for season and reason. If I'm going to teach my child that I need to start doing it myself, my child cannot be seeing a friend of mine that I'm backbiting or that I'm having beef with or that I don't even talk to, but I claim that they are not my friends. They need to know when someone is my friend, it shows in the relationship I have with the person, in how I relate with, in the values that we share. So it has even kept me on my toes myself. All right. So everything around me has really transformed. I have a better perspective. Things can be happening to me and I'll just be smiling. Sometimes I'll be like, is this excitement? Not too much. There is no cause for it, but it is because I understand where it is that my life is heading. And that no matter what happens, it doesn't change anything. I am who I am. And circumstances cannot come and just scatter me and make me be disoriented. I pull myself together. Even when situations that looks beyond me come to me, I ask myself, what can I do? Who can I call? How do I navigate through this? I share with someone, I get some relief, and then I come back and deal with those issues. So that's how it has helped. And I've been able to also build a successful business I'm running online because I have learned, God, I've not gone to webinars and I don't want to start going there now because coach have do me strong thing. She has just mesmerized me. All this sitting in the house, Odogu wife. We were part of those Odogu wives. That we just cross leg. We Odogu there. We are there. I've left the WhatsApp group because I can be an Odogu woman myself. What happens to being an Odogu woman yourself? Is it just going to be, you think that wealth is transferred sexually? It is not. Knowledge is not also transferred sexually. It cannot be transferred. If your husband is whatever, you have to build your own self. Develop yourself so that you can bring value to the table. I know that the values are not necessarily just money. There are more to it, but there's something that happens when you are working and producing value and it is translated to wealth. It has a way, it changes the way you think. There are some issues you won't have in your marriage again because you understand giving value and getting value. So that has been my journey in the inner circle in the past how many years I have been in, and we have not even scratched the surface. We are just starting.
Wow.
We are just
Wow.
beginning. Thank you,
Wow,
coach.
wow, wow. Who can feel? Hey, who can feel all of the fire? You can't be in like 3 years. Come on now. I felt like standing at a time. Hey, Christy, this was just a real webinar. Like, I was like, okay, please, just continue talking, man. Just be talking. Just give it to us. Let's be listening. All right, we're just here. And Christy said something that was very, very striking. She said, when you sow a seed, you bring back a tree. It is not, I always say that the fruits are usually bigger than the seeds. But Christy said, a tree will give you. Forget the fruit. You will carry a whole tree. You are sowing seed. It doesn't matter. I can talk anyhow. I can do anyhow. I usually say that when you get into the inner circle, your anyhowness dies. I see someone, saying to me, are you sure that this thing, inner circle, this thing, she's a new yada, is really going to work? I said, Neji, come in. You need refinement. Come inside. Let me see you talk like this in the next 10 months. Then, of course, you will receive the words well. Like, you just talk anyhow and just say things anyhow. And, when Christy was talking about her marriage, and, and she was saying, I used to be that wife before. Once my husband just says anything, I start crying. Oh, you don't do it because you love me. Or she love a girl. They should do it because they love you. You don't bring any sense. You want to be loved. Just like that. See, your love can bring you to the house, into the palace of the king. But what will keep you on that table is the sense you bring. Hey, are you the girl with sense? Oh, I'm loving this. And Christy said, see, lastly, I have become the Odogu myself. What happened to being an Odogu? Why do I need to just be Munyo Odogu? You know that song? Munyo Odogu. When you're coming into the inner circle, you're Munyo Odogu. Better keep Munyo Odogu somewhere because we will dismantle the Munyo Odoguness and give you a cloth for an Odoguness. And you don't do it with all the crassness, all the, Imakwandai, what kind of thing. No, you do it with so much mindfulness, right? You step out. There's just something about you that people will just speak out and you're just, you have an example to follow. I say it with all sense of humility that, hey, there is something for you to see. The other day I was having a Bible conversation with my husband, which I do, very frequently. And and he said, we were saying something about what you see. And I said to him, I said, the more we see something, the more we become it. And a few years ago, 2017, was the first time I got introduced. I know the scripture, but it was the first time I got introduced to that scripture. As you behold in the mirror, you become. It was the interpretation I got was from Pastor David Oedebo, Junior. And I was like, what's happening here? And he went further to explain it. You are a product of the things you see. That's why I say that your environment is bigger than you. What are you beholding? What can you see? Lastly, Christy was sharing about how if relationship doesn't serve me, I just walk because I don't want to be a backbiter. I don't want to be that person who is just there, trying to just get angry, get it. It's not serving me. Can I bring value? If I can't, then I need to actually find something else to do. This is insightful. This is insightful. Christy is sharing all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. And of course, Christy said, I also used to be that wife who used to carry face, you know, where you carry face and just put shoulders and just say, oh, until they come to talk to me. But of course, I've learned to go without the emotions. I have learned to go without it. In the inner circle, you will learn to put your emotions in check. You see that manipulation, and I'm talking about women. We are the ones that our emotional intelligence is not built because we thrive on emotionalism. We're emotional about everything. Oh, that's the way he not talk to me. Oh, the way he not did it. Oh, the way he not did it say it. Oh, why did he say it like this? You're welcome. We shall give you another cloth to wear when you get in. Christy, let's talk about the webinars because we are really running out of time. Tell me, what will be your top 3 webinars in let's use 2024? Because I'm sure that you've listened to so many webinars. Let's stick to this year. Over to you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, coach. My number one is raising a girl with sense. That webinar, I'm the girl in that webinar that should be
Hmm.
raised with sense. Hello, can I be heard?
Yes, loud and clear.
Coach, can you hear me? Okay, okay.
Yes.
So I'm saying the first is raising the girl with sense, and which we are also anticipating the book. So that webinar, I was the girl side that needed to be raised with sense. So one of the things that webinar did was meant me to become a girl. So I learned that I want people to just take you as you are, just because you have a fine face. We that have a fine face have a little disadvantage. I'll tell you that disadvantage is ugly and does not have sense. It can be understood that okay, yeah, anyhow. But if you are beautiful or you are pretty and you don't have sense, my dear, it's just like a box that is beautified. This gift box, very beautiful, very packaged. But when you open inside, it is dirt that is inside. So you as well throw both the box and everything away. So that is what a beautiful girl with that is. So that way, like
Oh, network, not now, not ever. We must finish this particular conversation. Can you hear us? Can you
hello.
hear me, Christy?
Yes,
Yes, go ahead.
I can hear you now. Yeah, my internet
Go
was
ahead.
switching in between two. All
All
right.
right, that's
So I
fine.
was saying that the raising the girl with sense, I sat down with that. I've listened to it like I think 3 times, if I'm not mistaken, because I had to come back and say, wait, do you have sense? We used to ask someone, and we're asking it as though you are trying to badmouth the person. But I asked myself, do I really have sense? Do I have what it takes to be a girl with sense? I said, wait, all these criteria has to be met for you to be a girl with sense. That means I have a long way to go. And that's why my journey in the inner sense is not ending anytime soon, because I have not scratched the surface. So the girl with sense just made me to begin to work on myself, begin to build myself. Yes, I have been building in the past 2 years and the third year that I have been, but I saw a different light on how a girl can become everything and beyond and still be humble. It doesn't now mean that you should be crass or you should become proud. You can be all of that. And my typical Kisodi is still coach, because I look at the things she has done, the kind of results she has, and the kind of life she has transformed. She's supposed to be carrying 50 shoulder pads on her, on all of her shoulder, like it should be touching the roof. But this woman is so down to earth. And if you've not met coach, you've not even seen her being humble. Like, you think she's humble, wait until you meet with coach. You will see how, you will see the real humility. And I look at this Amazon woman and I'm like, I've not even done anything yet. So it's challenging me every day. What am I going to do differently? When I'm I'm reading on things that I can bring to my husband as a value to him, how I can help him improve his life. In fact, because of how I've taken my personal development so seriously, my husband said, this guy cannot be growing and I'll be here. You know, I've been in the inner circle alone for the past 3 years. Last year, I told Noya, he said he showed interest and said he's going to join, but for some reason, last minute he pulled out. I said, no problem. You are the one that is losing, it's not me. Don't think I'm losing, I'm growing ahead. So after the retreat, my husband said that he's going to take his personal development, that he can't be watching me grow, transform, become someone that people come to for advice. I have people that are older than me say, I want you to mentor me. I want you to be my guide. I want you to coach me on this. My siblings come to me for advice. People outside come to me for counsel on what to do. And when I tell them to do it, they do it and it comes out with a result. I say, no, he's going to join Inner Circle. If it is for his own personal development, he's going to join. Coach, my husband is quietly seated inside Inner Circle today. And he's waiting for 1st of December. He's been harassing me. When I'm watching a webinar, my husband will be like, why am I not watching? Is it not, are we not in that? I said, sir, calm down, no.
You will be
People
all
have
right.
been waiting from January. You are just joining now. You're even closer to the start date. You would have been suffering from longer throat from January if that was when you joined, because you would still wait. So, sir, calm down. You wait till December to start your own journey. And you know what? He didn't even just join. He brought his friend, his best man during our wedding with the wife. He said the wife wanted to join alone. He told the husband, join with your wife. You need it. And they are seated in the inner circle together. I have a mentor that when we were in our fellowship called Fega, she was my mentor, but she has watched me, how I do my parents, how I've been able to navigate. And she said that last year when I was sharing my journey, that it challenged and she wanted to join, but it was almost, towards the end, so she couldn't meet up with payment. She has completed her fee and she's now in the inner circle. So she was asking me, how do you navigate? How do you do it? How are you able to combine everything together? I'm still in school, mind you, but I do it effortlessly. I go to my school when it's time to go for school. When we're on holiday, I use it to find. When I was writing my exam in sometime in August, I needed to still read my book. Of course, I am the team lead in my cohort. So I was still doing that. I was writing my exam. I was reading book. I was managing home, and everything. And I was fine. I still have something I did in church that I was doing. So it didn't change anything. I had to, slow down in reading the book of the months and, of course, finish my exam. But when I came back, I told myself there is no excuse. You have to finish this book, because one of our slogan in Inner Circle is that we finish what we start. So what I did was, the moment I came back, I was reading the book for July, August, and then before in September came, I combined the three of them. I'll read one chapter of this one, read one chapter of this one, and I will be taking notes. When I'm going to the restroom, I carry my book. That time I would have used to press phone. I use my book to spend that time. When there is no time that wastes. When we are going to driving to church, I go with one of my books. I read in the car. Since I'm not the one driver, at least I have that advantage. I'll be on the other side and be reading my book. I don't waste my time on things that doesn't matter. So that girl with sense, reason girl with changed my perspective. So I take my journey like I'm running out of time, because there is really no time. In no time, you will see yourself, you've grown old. By the time our president is done, I don't know how many years that some of us will be. So if you are wasting time thinking you have all the time, you are growing old. Small time now, gray hair will come out. So what is gray hair without wisdom? There will be gray hair and there will not be wisdom. What wisdom will I be giving to my children? And the children that we are raising now, not children you can bypass their question. Some way they will find you. And they will know that mommy is not intelligent. And I want to be that mother who my children will be proud of. One thing that has stuck with me that coach says that she's not raising her children to be proud of them. She wants them to be proud of her. And I can tell you that children's coach, they carry their shoulder up in school because they know their mother is amazing. They will not be missing words when they say, I know my mom, I'm proud of my mom. So that is my own challenge to myself. I say, I cannot make the excuse of, oh, I'm raising you now, let me just be in the house, just raise my children. That's enough for me. Yes, that is good. But there are other things I should add to it. So raising the girl with sense is the top of the list for me. And then the next one that there is overcoming financial trauma. Coach, now we all collected. We collected in a very, very demure way, in a very, very thoughtful, very, very demure. That is how I collected. I told my husband, see what coach is saying. I gave my husband the link. My husband watched it till he came back from work that day. And he continued even in the night. He was stuck on it. We started discussing. We said, it means that all of us have financial trauma now because where we are coming from is a lot. So many things. Being overspending and underspending is all financial trauma. Is all financial trauma because you are coming from a place either where there is scarcity, and so when you now go to money, say, this one I have gotten the money, let me now spend everything. Or when you now get it, the things you should be investing, you will hold money, but you'll be dying of hunger, both hunger of physical hunger and mental hunger. You can't invest. Now webinar liberated me, and my relationship with money has changed. Before, when money is small in my hand, I'll be shaking. I'll be like, I need to get another money. If this one finish, what will I now do? I will not have money again. Those fear were taken away from that webinar. I have watched that webinar severally, and each time I listen to it, new insights have been dropped. When I need to buy new products, and I buy, of course, when you buy now, your account will be empty because you need to restock. I used to have the fear, like, how can I use all my money and go and buy product? And I didn't know that was my financial trauma. Because why are you not going to buy it? Okay, so how do you want your business to grow if you don't start taking risk? So it also changed my perspective about how I deal with money. And I see our parents, where they are coming from, where they didn't have so much, so they were holding the ones they have, and they are not able to invest in themselves. Our parents were people that wanted to help everybody in the world, and so they didn't plan their retirement well. So one of the things that my husband and I have decided to do is that we're going to plan our retirement using the Parenting Launchpad, which is one of my top 3 books this year. Using the Parenting Launchpad, we need to plan. Our children are not going to be our retirement plan. If they are going to give anything, they have to give it out of honor, not that we are dependent on it or we can't survive without it. So that overcoming financial trauma just mesmerized me. In fact, I finished it and I said, thank God for Inner Circle. I sent a message in our group. I said, I just feel so guilty that I've not paid. I didn't pay enough for this Inner Circle, because only that class, if you want to get such class outside, you are going to be paying in dollars. You're not even supposed to pay in naira, because even the naira is not naira enough. So you're supposed to be paying in dollars for that class. I'm telling you, because a lot of us think that we know what we are doing, but by the time that you get into a system that opens your eyes, you start seeing liberation. Coach will say that a mountain does not exist anywhere. It is your knowledge gap that is your own mountain. The moment you learn, it melts away. That mountain will just disappear. So that overcoming financial trauma helped me so much that I have had a better relationship from that time on money, on how in fact, the investments we are making now are risky investments, but we know that it is for the future. So we've done an investment of recent that is very risky. but we know that it's going to pay off. And I have also been liberated from quick returns, syndrome. You want it fast, fast. You want what you're doing now to give you the result immediately. That's not how people build financial empire. That's not how people that have transgenerational wealth did it. If they were looking for the quick ones, it will not outlive them. So that webinar transformed me. Like, it really, really transformed me. So today I'm not panicking if there is no money in my hand. I just need to give it time. I even ask myself, do you even have enough value that you're giving to deserve to have more? Because you cannot want to have more if you don't give out value. And if you are just holding the ones you have, you are like a lake that is not flowing out. You just receive. There is nothing you are giving out. So you have to give out. So today I'm able to pay for anything for my knowledge sake. If I'm going to learn something, I need to pay for it to even be able to pay attention to that thing. I don't give my time to free things anymore. If I see a free webinar, I'm not necessarily moved to join. Not because they may not give value, but because I need to know that I am committed to what it is that you're coming to teach me. And I will be able to implement it right there, right now. Not something that you just learn, oh, since it's a free webinar now, if I don't do anything, I did not lose. But when you commit with your finances or commit your resources to it, you will give it all it takes. All right. So that webinar transformed my life. Then the last one is becoming the confident parent. I say that these 3 webinars, all the webinars are just amazing, but these 3 were for me particularly. Like, I took it, I am training myself, I am parenting myself with it before it even goes down to my children. Because if it rubs off on me, it will rub off on my children. Naturally, they'll become confident. Naturally, they will have good relationship with finances. Naturally, our daughter become a girl with sense. So that confidence, becoming a confident parent helped me to begin to see that I am not everybody can be a woman, but everybody is not a wife. I understood what it is to be a wife. To be a wife that brings value, that knows her place, that is not moved. You know who you are, not because of the things that you have, but because of what is embedded in you, the things, the makeup, who you even came from. The fact that I came from God should build my confidence, because I ask myself, if maybe Elon Musk is my dad, how am I going to carry myself? But God is still bigger than every other person, I can think of. So it should show in how I carry myself. It doesn't mean arrogance. It doesn't mean, and it has helped me to be able to walk out of relationships that are not serving me confidently. And it's not helping. And the ones I have, I review it constantly. I ask myself, wait, in the last 1 month, what have I learned from this, my friend? What have this, my friend, learned from me? So one of the things I started doing is with my closest friends is that we hold ourselves accountable. Every week we talk. What were you able to do this week? What did you achieve? You told me you're going to read 3 chapters of this book. Have you read it? You told me you're going to write. In fact, one of my testimonies this is that I've been able to write a book and finish it good. I launched it sometime in August after my exams. And that book, I didn't believe I'm the one that wrote it. In my wildest imagination, I never thought I was going to write a book in my life. But I have watched Coach every year. This woman is releasing 4 books, 3 books, just like that. And she's still doing it in a second. She's still running her other businesses that I know that are not even in the limelight, running the smart office and everything, being a wife, being a mom and everything. Like, how does she do it? So I told myself, I'm going to start a book and finish it. And I was able to do it. And I give the credit to Inner Circle and Coach Wendy. She has molded me, remolded me, and transformed my life. So these are my top 3 webinars. I want to stop here because I know we have a webinar. Let me not take all the time.
Amazing. If not that we have a webinar this morning, I would have just said, let's please listen to Christy. This is a full-fledged webinar now. Like, this is a webinar on its own. Christy, I've already mentioned that one of your top 3 books was Parenting, the Launch Plan. All right. And by the way, if you're listening to that, Raising the Girl with Sense, if you listen to the webinar, the book itself is a stand up and read kind of book. As I finished writing, I read it, for preview the other day. I was like, oh, hey, even myself, this book, and that if you've not pre-ordered that book, This is your cue to go pre-order now. We're launching on the 1st of November. Christy has already mentioned that one of our first 3 books was the launch, no parenting launch plan. Every other has a copy of that book. If you don't, you are wrong. Totally, completely wrong. That's our manual. All right. So, which will be your other 2 books? Quickly.
Okay, Raising the Independent Thinking Child, which we are also reading. I said I've been
Mm.
collecting from that book. So that book, God I beg. This is the one you are reading. I say, God I beg. I don't know the next thing that is going to hit me. Is it from the tools, the 20 tools that you have for which you must use to raise an independent thinking child, or the skill parts, the skills you need to teach your children? So one of the things I did is to build a structure of the skills I need to teach our child and the strategies that I need to use to teach that, because that's one of the things that Inner Circle gives you. You know, someone outside can just read it and say, yes, I've had the knowledge, but how do I implement? So one of the things that Inner Circle did is to give me the strategies to now begin to do it. So I put that strategy for each of the skill, for each of the two. How do I use it to transform my children? So one of the things I do is to allow my children make choices. I can, on Sundays, I bring out 2 clothes. Which one do you want? I want her to wear either of the clothes, of course, but I give her that opportunity to choose between this and this. And I can randomly, I can ask my daughter, what do you think about this? She's 4 years old. And she'll say, I think, and I'm like, okay, when I was 4 years, I can't remember thinking. But here is my 4-year-old thinking loudly and, be able to communicate, to talk comprehensively, and you understand what she's saying. Our daughter can give me suggestion and I'll do what she say. She's 4 years. So I have made her to understand it's not just about the age. You can advise me or suggest things to me, and when it is valid, I will do it. I am not the know-all. That is one of the things our Inner Circle will teach you. I'm not the know-all. So I have things that I may not know. So if my daughter calls my attention to it, I will take it. And when she comes back from school, so this, how was school? School was fine. That's all. No. When she come back, we'll sit down, we'll talk. She will download what happened in school. Everything, and I will listen to her, and that forms her. She will be able to. So when she goes to school now, she's thinking how to pretend what happened to come back and give mommy the gist, and thereby building on her working memory. She can be able to recollect, critical thinking. She's able to understand. She's able to tell me what it is that she wants to do and back it up with a reason. If she says she wants to do, I say, why do you want to do it? She said, because you guys, okay, when you remember, you tell me. So that is helping me to build that area of her life. And I allow them to struggle naturally. I allow them to struggle and to suffer consequences, natural consequences. That's also one of the things I have learned in that book. Allow your children to suffer natural consequences. You don't need to start hitting them. I remember one of those times I just dished the food for her daughter, and it was very hot. So rice is her favorite food. So she could not wait to eat the. I said, wait, let me put it in water. You know how we do it in a bowl. It gets cold, and then the person eats. She was just insisting, I want to eat, I want to eat. She carried it. I said, okay, no problem. She carried the food. First spoon, it burned her mouth. She carried it back and said, mommy, put it back in water. That was the last time my daughter ever ate hot food like that. I said, if I was telling you that, you will not agree. So I allowed her to suffer that natural. I didn't need to struggle or to shout and scream. I just thought, okay, no problem. I put it in, put it in the water. It will get cold, and she will come and carry it and eat. So that's raising independent thinking child is, in fact, I can't get enough of that. I've read it last year, but this year is a new light for me. So that's my second book. And then the discipline that work, and by extension, discipline is not an emergency. Two of them. If you are here and you still think that you need to be whipping your children to put discipline in their head, it's not working. It's not going to work. It might give you immediate result, but it doesn't translate to long-term effects. The other day I was in the market, one woman came with the daughter. She gave her a phone she was holding, of course, for watching cartoon. But I think the daughter was making a demand of what she should buy. And the woman was lashing out on her, beating her. I was like, what is going on? Calm down, ma. She was like, no, I need to discipline her. If you don't discipline these children, in my mind, I'm like, this person need Inner Circle. You gave her a phone to be watching cartoon, but you can hit her because you want people to see that you're a disciplined parent. So I have learned what discipline is and what discipline is not. Sometimes I don't. Yesterday she was acting out, hey, growing everywhere, because I said, can you go through your assignment and check what it is that you wrote? I think you need to work on, check this particular question again. Maybe you need to solve it again, because she's good in maths, but sometimes she can mix it up. So I don't have to check it. She refused. She was all over the place shouting. I just crossed my leg on the seat and was watching her play at the jam. And she'll be using one eye. You know, children want attention now. She'll use one eye, be watching at me. I use the ignoring tool for discipline. I ignored her. She was just playing at, and when she finished, she now came back and started sobbing that man. She now came to me and said, Mommy, I'm sorry. I said, why are you sorry? What are you sorry for? He said, I'm sorry for what I did. I didn't do well. I'm not supposed to do that. I said, correct. You have thought by yourself and you see that what you did, if I wanted to start lashing back, hitting her, that means I'm also throwing tantrum myself. And if you have made a mess of her brain to even think that what she did was wrong. So those are my 3 top webinars, coach. Thank you.
Alrighty, so we have Christy. Christy is screaming all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. Young, very demure, mindful, young girl. Sometimes I look at, people like this. I'm actually very envious. You know that envy we talked about in the financial trauma class. I envy people, Sha. That, in fact, that's my own envy part. Looking at, young people who are actually able to walk their journey intentionally by the encounter of knowledge. And that is something that, I encourage every young person. Somebody say, oh, my children are toddlers. Where do I start? Please start already. Start with your life. Oh, my children are old. Where do I start? Please start with your life. And, Christy said something. What is gray hair without wisdom? Please, let's not put this gray. Somebody say my gray hair even collect. Christy, let's begin to round up because we need to go now. And this was just a full webinar, a full complete webinar. If you are not here, you didn't listen, rewind back. Christy had a lot of, somebody said at the time, Christy was speaking like you. I said, yes, after 3 years, come on now. And yes, Christy, somebody is listening to you now. I'm wondering, I have a lot, I can register. Are you sure it's worth the money? In 1 minute, speak to the people who are listening to you about the inner circle.
Okay, please, by all means, I will plead with you, if you are not in the inner circle, join, borrow and join. Use next year that you are now going to be getting what will help you make the money to pay back. Tell the person, I will pay you back by January. And if you do what is told you in the inner circle, I can assure you are going to make back the money and be able to pay. How I even pay for my inner circle is I pay monthly. Admin is here. He can pay me. I can share like 7 different receipts with him. My money is, being paid instrumentally. So, but because you don't have so much time, you need to borrow and get into the inner circle. Even Bible says you should buy knowledge, don't sell it. Buy wisdom, don't sell it, because you need to buy wisdom. You cannot just get wisdom everywhere. You can get information, but wisdom is being paid for. And if you're going, if you're going to transform your journey, you need to pay for it at all costs. Get into the inner circle. Borrow money from anybody. Whatever you need to do, if it's a loan, borrow it to be worth your time. I can tell you, if you say that we have been here for 3, 4, 5 years, it is because there is something inside. We cannot be paying if we are not getting value. So I will encourage you to pay for the inner circle and get in and come with humility, because that is one of the things you will need. If you are not humble, you cannot learn from the inner circle. So get into the inner circle. Even if you are just married, my best friend was telling me that next year she's joining the inner circle. I said, correct, it's better for you. She's not married yet, but she's joining next year, because she said, I have gone ahead of her, so I've made everything even easier for her. Let her come and now continue from where I stopped, so that she won't need to struggle with some of the things I struggle with. So please join the inner circle, borrow to join, loan to join, tell anything you can do to get money. Find yourself in the inner circle, because if you don't join us in December, you're going to join next year, December. That's the funny part of it. You will not join in between. You will join us next year. And that next year, a lot would have happened to you. So don't waste 1 year. Join now. Thank you so much, Coach.
President, amazing. What a journey. Hey, What a journey. See process of implementation. See results now. It is okay one for that phase. We they work, we they implement it, they show. That's a yada lingua. We they implement. It's all we they learn it. They show. We they implement it, they show. Hey, talk about it. All right. If you are not in the yard, where are you now? Christy said, get money anywhere, find yourself in the inner circle. It looks like, oh, all these things. Are you sure that no. There's no part of it. This journey is not even chronicled well. You can see that Christy no get time to actually talk, talk this talk. I'm sure she's feeling, what is it now, this network? But we got to go because we have workers meeting. Workers, are you here? The others are workers. We are workers. That's who we are.
We are ready to collect.
So you come ready to collect with a long flowing humility about that. But somebody said coach is wearing blue today. So it's going to be, subtle blue fire. But there has to be fire now. If you're not collecting fire, how will you get refined? When gold passes through fire, that's the only time you have gold. If not, you have a raw material. We don't want you to be raw material. We want you to be gold. We want you to come out refined so that when people pay for you, they will pay for the highest form of value. That's who you are. Thank you so much, Christy, for joining me. And one of the most profound parts of Christy's journey is her husband joining her on his own. This guy, I have seen this girl. I don't look this girl. This small girl, see this small girl that I went to marry the other day. The girl is just growing and just going. Me and there forming one odogu. I'm running. I am inside. I need to find myself inside so that I can also be learning the things that I have also seen this my wife actually transformed to do. The truth of the matter is that you get transformed by the things you hear. You get transformed by the things you behold. You get transformed by the environment you find yourself in. If you do not find yourself in the right kind of environment, even when you know everything you know, it will swallow you up. That's one thing that I'm sure of. And the inner circle system is that kind of right environment you need for everything that you're thinking of in your life. Talk about it. Talk about marriage. Talk about your children. Talk about yourself and becoming valuable. Christy also says, look at me. I have value. I cannot bring value. I'm no longer talking with my husband with all sense of emotionalism. Love me because I'm your wife. Keep wifehood somehow. Bring value now. Let's love you with your value. That's it. And I just love your journey. Thank you again, Christy, for sharing with me. Thank you for sharing with everybody. And I'm sure that people are watching and they're like, wow, right? If you think 100K is a lot of money, right? Then try ignorance, all right, on the other side. And the interesting thing about ignorance, you wouldn't know what it is that your life will be able to unlock until you find knowledge. When you now find knowledge, it's entertainment that says, how will you know what you don't know that can transform your life? You can't know it until you come in contact with knowledge. Yes, we are here to go. Christy, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for, in all of the things that happen, network, you are here. That's who we are. We don't give excuses. We find a way. Thank you for sharing your journey with me. Of course, you know that I love you. I honor you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sparing your time to do this with us. Thank you so much, and God bless you. We're going to let it go, and we're going to also let everybody. So, hey, everybody in the comment section, give all the flowers to Christy. Yes, we should bring Christy up to come and share webinar. As it is so, Christy has become, the way she was firing on different cylinders. Hey, I bow. Yadas, I salute you guys. All righty. Thank you so much for being here today. It's been an amazing journey with you. I am particularly excited. I'm usually excited on Thursday. Thursday is my best day of the week. Yeah, it's on Thursday that you see me chronicle dress up because I'm coming for workers meeting. Hey, workers, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? In 20 minutes, we are off and we're in workers meeting. I just love it, right? And today is going to be one of those transforming life. It's going to be one of those webinars you listen, like the girl with sense. You listen again, you listen again, you listen again, and again, and again. I can't just wait. Honestly speaking, I can't wait to share this part of my life with you. I am particularly excited. If you're not in the inner circle, you're missing a lot. There's so much that goes in there. There's so much that happens. And, Chrissy said something. You can read the book. When you read the book in the inner circle, it's different. When you read it outside of the inner circle, it's different. There's something different about the implementation process you watch in the inner circle. It changes you. All the details you need to be part of the inner circle program is right here on your screen. 100,000 naira per you if you're joining alone, 170,000 naira per annum. I have nothing else to say. I am going to see you in Benin tomorrow. Benin Yadas, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? And I will see you in the UK next week. I can't even wait to be there. See you at 10 o'clock Yadas. And yes, if you're not a Yada yet, please be sure to become one by 1st December 2024. See ya and God bless you.
Hello everyone. Are you a parent, a teacher, or a school owner in Edo or its neighboring states?
Are you overwhelmed with the task of parenting, or you are still struggling to understand your pupils?
Hey, are you looking for effective ways to nurture the growth and well-being of your child?
Join us at the Intentional Parents Summit as the ancient city of Benin welcomes the #1 parent coach in Africa, Coach Wendy Ologe, and 5 other seasoned coaches.
On the 19th of October 2024, at the Unusual Conference Center, JBS Estate, off Boundary and Sapler Road, GRA, Benin City.
Discover practical strategies to strengthen parent-to-child bond, foster resilience, and build confidence.
With a team of expert guidance, you will gain valuable insights and tools to empower your parenting journey.
Remember, date is this Saturday, 19th October 2024. Time 10 a.m. See you there.
Join the conversation and unlock your parenting potentials.
Let's build strong families together. See you there.
Birmingham, are you ready? On the 26th of October, Coach Wendy is coming to Birmingham.
So what can you expect? Parenting insights that will help revolutionize your approach, mindset shifts that will help you raise confident and empowered kids, support and encouragement from a community of like-minded parents. You don't want to miss it.
It's a networking opportunity within a thriving parenting community, and it's also a place where you get real-life examples and solutions to your parenting roadblocks. It's going to be a judgment-free zone where you're open to discuss all your parenting concerns, and it's an opportunity to learn and to be impacted by a world-class parent coach.
It's going to be amazing, insightful, and life-transforming.
Coach Wendy, Coach Kunle, and Coach Ebuka will be speaking to us on this day conference. You don't want to miss it.
Come and receive skills, tools, strategies that will help you in your parenting.
To register, use the link on the screen or scan the barcode to pay the fee of £53.
Arrival time is 9:15 British Standard Time.
I will certainly be there.
I will be there.
10,000 copies of these books pre-ordered already. Have you been able to pre-order my latest books? Raising the Boy You Don't Need to Bail Out, Raising the Girl with Sense, Raising the Trophy Child is Congratulations, Celebrations, and Challenges, The Parenting Advantage, and Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, Volume 4. These are all my latest books, and for 28,000 naira, you can get all of this bundle instead of paying a 40,000 naira, a whooping 12,000 naira discount. If you're buying individual copies, you would pre-order them at 6,000 naira each copy. You'll still be spending or saving some 2,000 naira to it. Join us now to be part of the people who are revolutionizing parenting. These books will save your life.